Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday Night Legacy. I want to welcome a longtime player at the store and guest commentator for the channel, Jack. Take it away, Jack.
Hello and welcome to Tuesday Night Legacy, where we showcase Magic's most powerful formats. I'm Jack, and tonight I'll be commentating for Round 1 on June 7th, 2022. On the left, we have our Epic Storm player playing the Epic Storm, or TES as it's also known, and this deck is a really cool deck where you get to play as many spells in one turn as possible, and then after you've played all those spells, you play a spell with the Storm mechanic, which copies itself for every spell cast prior to it, and then you attempt to win all in one turn. On the right-hand side, we have our Yorion Zenith player, John, who is playing a Yorion Sky Nomad deck with the card Green Sun Zenith in it, which is a really cool value tool since Green Sun Zenith shuffles itself back in every time you resolve the spell. You have a pretty good chance of drawing it throughout your deck throughout the game, allowing you to outvalue your opponent. This is a really cool match, and John won the die roll, so he gets to be on the play, and let's dive straight into it. John won the die roll, so he will be taking us off to the races. So let's jump right in here. John's going to go ahead and keep his hand, and so will Tess, and he puts the Misty Rainforest down, and LED being the first spell cast for this game. And Yorion is deciding whether or not he's going to counter it. He has a slew of counter spells in his hand. He's just debating which one he's going to use. And I think he's going to go here with the Force Negation. Force Negation being one of the better cards printed from Modern Horizons, and also getting a reprint in Double Masters. It's good enough to exile the spell. Oh, and up we have a Lotus Petal. Exiling is important because it gets Cabal Threshold out of Cabal Ritual, and also it gets rid of any Echo Beyond shenanigans if it could come back. Tundra here fetched out, and a Prismatic Ending on the stack, targeting that Lotus Petal. And this Lotus Petal is going to go ahead and get sacked, and I believe a blue mana is floating here, given the player's hands, as he has that Brainstorm in hand. He might want to play that on his end step here. Yep. He's going to go ahead and play that before the mana floats over. Brainstorm, one of the better cards in Legacy, being instant speed and blue, kind of holding down the format here. We have a Dark Ritual from Tess. Dark Ritual being add 3 black mana to your mana pool at instant speed, and that's going to, Yorion Zenith says, okay, sure. You have 3 black mana, what are you going to do with it? I'm going to cast another Dark Ritual here, and we're going to go up to 5 black mana, if he says okay. He says okay on that one. 5 black mana is the golden ticket here for his Ad Nauseam in hand. Ad Nauseam entering the stack here. Oh, Force of Will, gonna say good night to that Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam being one of the better cards for Storm. This is how they go off, is by casting this thing, revealing all their cards, and then winning the game. Force of Will, though, is gonna say no thank you to that one. Going to tap a Tropical, a Tundra, and a Savannah, some beautiful lands here to play a Ramunap Excavator, and this is why we play Magic here, is just being able to play all of your lands from your graveyard. He's going to play a Wasteland, not really doing too much, but also threatening the, hey, now all of your non-basics are now Lotus Petals, because I get to play this Wasteland every turn with my Ramunap Excavator. And he's going to actually get his Yorion into his hand as well with the Companion. And Chromox enters the battlefield for Tess, with a Brainstorm imprinted and a Ponder going to be played. Ponder, going to go ahead and resolve. Yorion says sure. Ponder's not really going to do too much here. He's going to go think about it, draw his card. He's going to untap, draw, play swing with the Ramunap Excavator. And here we have our Yorion entering the fray. Hard cast. Boom. He's like, okay, can I exile my guy? Sure, why not? Pseudo Vigilance. The Chromox over here is going to cast another Brainstorm, one of the better cards in Magic. Definitely one of the better cards in Legacy. I'm going to go ahead and fetch here for a Volcanic Island, and I think we're about to go off to the races again. We're going to go ahead and cast a Rite of Flame, Storm count 1. Rite of Flame is one of the better red rituals in Legacy. It allows you to add 2 red mana, and then it becomes a dark ritual, and then a better dark ritual, and so on and so forth as you add them to your graveyard. He's going to go ahead and say, sure, another Rite of Flame here. Going to go up to 4 red mana in the mana pool. Storm count is now 2, I believe. And he's going to say, I'm going to use some of this red here, 2 of it exactly, and cast Burning Wish. Now, Burning Wish is one of the crazier cards in Magic. It allows you to search your sideboard for any card that you have that is a sorcery. He's going to go ahead and reveal Galvanic Relay here, which is one of the cooler cards Storm has to offer, which says, hey, if you have your counterspell in hand, go ahead and save it for next turn. I'm going to go ahead and draw a bunch of cards. It allows you to exile the top card of your library, and during your next turn, you can play that card, Storm. So this card got banned at Pauper. It's that good. But it allows you to exile, I believe in this case, he's going to exile 5 cards, I believe. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Didn't really hit there. Kind of a bunch of junk, unfortunately, as we like to say. He says, pass the turn. Go ahead and swing. Come in with the Yorion and this Ramunap. Now he's like, Green Sun Zenith is a good card. Let me go ahead and fetch. Get all the lands in the world. He has all this real estate. I'm going to slam that sideways. He's going to go ahead and cast Green Sun Zenith. Go ahead and grab a green creature card with confirmed mana cost X or less. X in this case, I believe, is 6. So he's just digging through his deck, and he's like, man, what 6-drop do I grab? That's green. Boom. Primeval Titan. Prime Time. Prime Time, this card's won a Pro Tour. This card needs no introduction. When ETB gets or attacks, you can grab 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield, tap, and shuffle his library. He's like, pass the turn. He's threatening lethal here. He's like, yeah, no, I don't have anything. And so that's going to move us on to Game 2. Game 2 is going to start off pretty quick here with, I believe, a Ponder being cast from the Yorion Zenith side in just a second here. I'm predicting the future, as one does. He's going to go ahead and shuffle. Go ahead and find, I believe, a Tundra here. Or Tropical Island. Oof, I don't know everything. Tropical Island, one of the better cards to run in Legacy now, that we have a Uro Titan of Nature's Wrath format, as some know. Here's that Ponder. Ponder's going to go ahead and resolve. He says, no thank you, those 3 cards suck. I'm going to shuffle up and deal. He's going to go ahead and look at his cards, and now from the Storm player, we have a more fun card called Wishclaw Talisman. It enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it, and you can remove a wish counter and search your library for any card put into your hand, just like Demonic Tutor. However, the downside is your opponent gets control of it. This card can only be activated at sorcery speed, though, so if you can win the game with it in 1 turn, you don't really care if your opponent has it. So it's essentially, you invest 2 mana for a Demonic Tutor, and you pay 1 mana later for it. It's pretty nice. We're going to see Abundant Growth from the Yorion player here. Abundant Growth is one of the cooler cards printed from Abzan Restored. Lets you draw a card when it enters the battlefield and filter your mana for any color as long as you put it on a land. So he's put it on his forest here. Now his forest can tap for any mana, but he says, you know what, I think green is probably the best mana in my mana pool for this one, because I believe here comes another Green Sun Zenith. Gonna go ahead and Green Sun for 0 here. And if you're new to Legacy, or you haven't seen this play before, or maybe in Modern you haven't seen this, go ahead and grab yourself a land card for 0 mana, and there's only, I believe, 1 land creature that you can grab so far, until Wizards decides to print us the land Merfolk in blue, which will never happen, unfortunately. Here comes Old Faithful Dryad Arbor. Dryad Arbor being one of the better cards that Elves gets to play. He gets to play it too, since he has, I believe, infinity cards in his deck. 80 cards is a lot. And meanwhile, our test player is digging through his 60 cards, or has nearly all 60 cards active to him with this Wishclaw Talisman, but says, hey, you know what, I'm going to Dark Ritual. Let's get that Storm count 1, and we're going to go ahead and add 3 black mana to our mana pool. And, you know, Lotus Petal, might as well get that Storm count up a little bit. We're going to do it again. Storm count is now 3. He's going to go ahead and add a red with this mana, and he's going to go ahead and say, I'm going to use this red and one of my black to cast a Burning Wish. Going to have that Storm count now at 4. What am I going to grab? He's debating. Now, there are a lot of sorceries you can get. You can grab another Galvanic Relay, he can grab another, he can grab Tendrils and just put it in his hand. He can grab Echo of Eons, but he's going to go ahead and say, you know what, Galvanic Relay didn't work out last time, but I have faith. And he's counting Storm again. He says, Dark Ritual Petals, this Burning Wish, and now Galvanic Relay, and he's just going to raw dog it, just going to slam it on the battlefield and say, boom, Rite of Flame, Bloodstained Mire, Echoing Truth we see from the sideboard, Burning Wish, and Defense Grid. And now, Defense Grid is one of those great sideboard tech cards. He's like, yeah, wait, what does that do? We got a reader. Defense Grid is fantastic. It allows you to pretty much say, all my spells are now counterable in this case. Unless you have that extra mana lying around. And now he's like, oh, alright. Our Yorion Zenith player just says, sure. I'm not really sure what to do here anymore. I'm going to play my Planeswalker, potentially? Yeah, just go ahead and drop Teferi Time Rattler. Teferi is a really cool card, printed in Dominaria, War of the Spark. It allows you to say, hey, no instance. But unfortunately for him, Galvanic Relay just says, yeah, you can cast these spells. You don't really have to... Really, it doesn't matter when you cast them, but you can cast them during your turn at any time. But since you can cast them only as a sorcery, he can't really respond with that Echoing Truth at instant speed, so he's just going to leave that there and sit. He's going to go play Defense Grid, and he's going to go ahead and play Rite of Flame, because he's like, I need mana. Storm count is now 2, and he's doing the math. He's like, oh, you know, add this up. What should I grab? The Storm count's now only 2. He's going to go and crack this Bloodstained Mire, because you can play lands off of the Galvanic Relay. Galvanic Relay is really cool. And he's also going to go ahead and crack the Wishclaw Talisman and grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. And he's going to go ahead and cast that. Storm count is now 3. And he's going to go ahead and use that mana from Rite of Flame to cast this Burning Wish. Say, Burning Wish, may I? He's like, yeah, sure, why not? Storm count is now going to go up to 4. And he's going to hold priority and crack this Lion's Eye Diamond and add 3 blue mana to his mana pool. Because he's going to grab Echo of Eons, one of the new cards Storm gets to play with, out of the board. Burning Wish there again, flash for over for a second, which allows you to grab any sorcery you own from outside the game. And then he's going to grab Echo of Eons, and he's going to say, hey, let's flash this black for that 3 blue that I had. You and I both get a shuffle up. He puts his cards back on top so fast. He's like, please, let me draw my new 7 cards. Echo of Eon is just so sweet. Time Twister is always super fun to cast. Gonna go ahead and say, hey, check this out. You have Force of Wills? I don't really care, because I have this Defense Grid in play. And now he's gonna go ahead, and I believe it's just a matter of, can I get to my Tendrils of Agony in time, before I either run out of cards or run out of mana, but I believe he's looking at this hand and is like, hey, I think this is gonna work out. He's going to go ahead and play Dark Ritual, bump that Storm count up to 7. The Echo of Eons puts it up to 6, of course, not 7 with this. He's going to shuffle up a little bit, think, grab the sideboard, can I win here? He's going to go ahead and cast Burning Wish again, make that Storm count 8, and he's going to go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to crack this, Burning Wish, I'm going to make this Storm count 8, crack this for 3 black, discarding my hand. Burning Wish is going to resolve. I'm going to grab Tendrils of Agony. Tendrils, yeah, that's going to kill you. And GG. So they're going to go ahead and shuffle up for the next game, where we're going to have a Windswept Heath and a Bloodstained Mire facing off. Just some fetches to start the game, you know, some classic Legacy action. A lot of fetching and shuffling. I've gone ahead and sped that up for you guys, just because it is very, very boring. And another Abundant Growth to start off the game from the Yorion Zenith player. Abundant Growth, again, very good, but Utopia Sprawl I always like just because of the mana ramp. But here we have a LED, and we have the Yorion Zenith player scratching his head. He is on a mulligan to 5, is something I should mention, but he says, you know what, I'm going to have to Force Negation that. Going to have to get that out of town, and you know what, he might be regretting that later. And actually, just a second, notice he pitches Force of Will to cast that Force Negation, and ooh, here's this big misplay. He pitched with Force Negation. He used Force Negation here, and now he's trying to Surgical. I see the little oh no, because Surgical only could grab it out of the graveyard. And if he had used Force of Will instead of Force Negation, he would have been able to do that. That's just big upset. He's going to go and play this Dryad Arbor into play, and another LED is going to hit the field for our test player. He's going to go ahead and say, hey, you know what, Dark Ritual, Storm count 2. Let's get off to the races. And our Yorion Zenith player is staring at his hand of garbage. And he's like, oh no, what's this Lotus Petal going to do to me? I'm terrified. Storm count is now 3 with this Lotus Petal in play. And our test player is just thinking, he's like, okay, we're going to go ahead and Surgical now. And he's going to go ahead and grab that Dark Ritual. And now something that actually didn't happen that the test player didn't do is I believe he was supposed to reveal his hand, which I don't think he did. Which is kind of interesting. However, it's really not going to matter here. He's going to play every single card in his hand. He's going to go ahead and drop a Rite of Flame, add some mana, get the Storm count up, and he's going to go ahead and Infernal Tutor, crack LED, a classic play to say, hey, now I'm going to crack this LED, add 3 black mana to my mana pool. With that Dark Ritual, it's going to make it 5, and the Rite of Flame has that 1 red. And he's going to say, I'm going to cast Ad Nauseam, float this red, and let me lose a bunch of life, revealing the top cards of my deck. I'm going to reveal a Polluted Delta, a Galvanic Relay, a Rite of Flame, So it's only 4 damage so far. Take another Rite of Flame, it's 5. Lotus Petal, that's free. Lotus Petal, that's free. That's just really good. That's free land. That's another free land. That's Echo of Eons. That's a lot of damage. That's, as Phil Swift would say, that is a lot of damage. Oh, and there's a Burning Wish. Burning Wish is probably going to be lights out here. There's Ad Nauseam for you guys, just so you can get a gander at that again. Ad Nauseam, again, one of the better cards in Magic. It's just a fantastic card. It lets you do Dark Confidant as long as you don't die, or as long as your fingers are crossed enough. And he's saying here, check this out, I'm going to play this Polluted Delta, I'm going to grab a red land, so I'm going to cast these Rite of Flames. I'm going to play the Polluted, I'm going to play these Petals, I'm going to play this Burning Wish, I'm going to grab... he actually doesn't grab it at the end here. He's going to grab Tendrils of Agony again, and he's going to say lights out. Storm count is about a bajillion at this point after he plays the Rite of Flames, the Petals. He just has all the mana in the world. He could even Echo if he wants to off of the Petals if he's feeling brave. I don't think he would have chosen to do that. However, that is the match, and I'll catch you guys in a second with the outro. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Saw something cool or want to see a specific match? Please give a comment down below. Big thanks to Spellhold for hosting Tuesday Night Legacy every week. Legacy is the best format, and I love promoting it. Next match is going to be Blue-White Control versus Blue-Red Delver, 2 Legacy Titans battling it off in round 2. Stick around, and I hope you guys enjoy. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.